Today we are once again back here with another new look rebuild, and believe it or not, I don't think I've rebuilt the Wizards since they've drafted AJ DeBonza. Just like the Utah Jazz, the Wizards bought at the trade deadline and now go into next season with a very interesting team. Like, there's a lot of interesting pieces here, and I'm curious to see what this team is going to look like, so let's find out. But before we get into today's video, YouTube does tell me about 55% of the people that watch these videos aren't actually subscribed, and we're less than 200 subs away from 50,000, so if you want to help us reach that, that would be amazing. So the Washington Wizards are one of those teams that I just don't really know what to expect out of them when it comes to being, playing in the Eastern Conference. I could see this team, being a massive failure, and not that there should be like serious expectations on this team, but I also could see them being pretty intriguing as well. Because there's talent such as AD and Trae Young. Obviously, we don't really know how bought in Anthony Davis really is. There's already been trade rumors about him before he's even played a game. And now there's interest apparently in DeMar DeRozan for the Wizards, which I'm just going to be honest, I hate that idea. I really do. I already think there's like so many wings on here that you can't even really play because they signed Middleton back and all that. So I think I can technically sign DeMar DeRozan to the Wizards, which maybe I should just to cover my bases just in case like I record this and he does sign with them. So yeah, even though I don't like it, since there's interest there, they want to pair, I guess, DeMar DeRozan with Trae Young and Anthony Davis. I guess I'll just go ahead and do it, even though, like I said, I kind of hate that idea. I think that's kind of weird, but whatever, we'll go with it. So at the end of the day, ultimately, we're probably going to get rid of Anthony Davis pretty quickly in this video. Maybe not. We'll see. I mean, again, I don't know how bought in he is to the Washington Wizards, but maybe we can force him to be bought in. I guess we'll find out. But let's go ahead, get into the rotation for year one. This is going to be a deep rotation. There's going to be a lot of guys not playing. That's going to suck, but we'll see what it looks like. The one thing to note is Power Rank does have us at 10th overall, so that's already a pretty good sign. If you look at the rotation, if we just left it the way it was right now, other than we changed it to a 10-man rotation, you have Trae Young, Trey Johnson, AJ DeBonza, Anthony Davis, Alex Sarr, Keyshawn George. I mispronounced his name last time I did a video, and I remember now. Koulibaly, probably mispronounced that as well. I'm really bad with his name. But DeMar DeRozan, Will Riley, Bub Carrington. So that leaves what? Watkins, Whitmore, Champagnie, Vucevic, and DeAndre Ayton completely out of the rotation. So, and Middleton, which obviously he got like I think he got like a 3-year deal, didn't he? Yeah, so I don't know. Kind of weird, but I am going to probably force this to an 11-man rotation. The Wizards have changed quite a bit. Obviously, Ayton, we get him involved a little bit by doing that. And yeah, so very interesting, I guess, to say the least, and we're just going to go with it and to kind of see how it goes. So as far as the proficiency is concerned, 3.5, we'll leave it at that. And then I do want to go ahead and give this team a fighting chance. So I did this with the Jazz as well, but we are going to go ahead and play physical defense because that, seems to help. And we'll go ahead and also go, I guess we got play through star. We'll go play through star, someone, and then patient offense, shoot at will, average tempo. I guess we'll go with that. Patient offense or average tempo. We'll do average tempo, and we'll see if we can get a play-in or playoff season out of this team. And if I do stop the trade deadline, of course, I will show you. I think ultimately, AJ DeBonza, Alex Sarr are two guys that are not going anywhere in this video. We'll see on and probably Trey Johnson. I think those are the three that we're absolutely building around. The rest, we'll have a conversation about when we get there, but those are the three I'm definitely most focused on, and hopefully we can find a way to make a play-in appearance at least this year, because I do think this team is talented enough for that, and it does look like we're off to a decent start. So maybe I make no change to the deadline. We shall see. Like I said, the Wizards, just like the Jazz, are going to be very interesting to watch in the Eastern Conference. So at the end of this season, Wembanyama wins MVP, Peterson's Rookie of the Year in Utah, Jalen Green is your 6th man, Wemby is your depoy, and Asar Thompson is your most improved, and Tatum is your clutch player, and Mike Brown is your Coach of the Year, and executive goes to Aaron Phillips, and Jalen Brunson is your Cup MVP. So here is your All-NBA first team, here is your All-NBA second. I'm not really expecting to see any Wizards here, although it would be cool. Maybe all-defensive team for like AD or Sarr, but nope, none of that either. Or no, AD's right there, just kidding. So he's right in front of my face. And then, yeah, I presume DeBonza, yeah, he is on our rookie first team. Obviously, there was two guys here like AD and Trae Young taking some shots away from him. So not the greatest rookie season by any means, but there is a couple of vets in front of him that could affect that. But yeah, we did indeed make the playoffs, by the way. So it looks like our adjustments, made a difference. 6th seed in the Eastern Conference, 43-39. So very good season for this young and, team with some vets, I guess. So yeah, Trae Young with 20-7, 15 and 9 from Anthony Davis, 14 from DeBonza, 14.5 from Trey Johnson, 11 from DeMar DeRozan, 9-7 from Sarr, and 8 from Koulibaly. So I did look at the deadline when it came to him because he does need an extension, but I thought, we're actually playing pretty well. Let's just go ahead and keep him, and we'll talk extension in the offseason. So let's go to a 9-man rotation in these playoffs. So DeRozan's gonna have to start, so I guess it's not bad to have him right now. We get to play his former team, Toronto, which of course it feels so long ago when he was there. But game 1 goes to Toronto. I'm not really expecting to win a playoff series here, although it would be really cool. But yeah, didn't really expect that, and we do lose in 4. So not really surprised by that. At least we got in the playoffs, you know, in this young season for us. Spurs and Magic, and the Magic go on to win the championship in 7 over the San Antonio Spurs. We do have DeMar DeRozan retiring a Wizard. I don't know if Middleton would join him in that, but it doesn't look like it. It looks like Middleton's going to keep playing, so that's fine. We're not in the offseason of expansion just yet, so now let's get to this lottery. Considering we made the playoffs, I don't believe we'll, you know, get a lottery pick from anybody else, and I think our pick, I don't know if it was protected or not, or it was owed to anybody, but I guess not. We have pick 18 in this draft. So staff signing, I mean, with us making the playoffs, I think Brian Keefe has deserved his opportunity to stay, so we'll go ahead and leave him be. And on draft night, again, we have 18, might have some seconds as well. We have 6 and 26, so 18, 6. Let's trade this second for a later second in the future, and we'll just draft with these 2 picks. So at pick 18, probably just go whatever we think is best here, best player available. We can go Abraham, we can go Dame Sar, which I'll probably go with him, or we can go the Clan Duru. I'm going to go with Dame Sar here out of Duke. I don't take him too often. And at pick 36, we got Abraham, who I was considering, but we'll take him here, you know, early in the second. So he's going to be a 71 overall. So welcome, both of you. AD accepts his player option. Not surprised there. And then ultimately, it sucks to do this, and it might upset some people, but I'm going to decline Vucevic and Champagnie because I feel as if we're not going to get them minutes. And yeah, because I guess if I'm not going to trade AD, which is something I do pretty often when it comes to rebuilding the Wizards, but I kind of want to see how long we can keep him, because we could reduce his shot tendency to more of a role player. I don't think I'll be bringing back Cameron Whitmore either, unfortunately. So Koulibaly is like the one guy I'd be focused on depending on what he's asking for. So Whitmore, Champagnie, you know, Vucevic, and then Koulibaly. But we have Trae Young, Bub Carrington. We have Dame Sar, who just drafted 75 overall. Not bad. Middleton, of course, is here. I don't really trust him to play next year, though. Again, so I wanted to get, you know, Keyshawn and Will Riley more involved next year. We do need a backup center. So I think we move one of them to the 3. That's pretty obvious. That's a pretty good solution right then and there. So Will Riley would go up to an 84 if we did that. And then if we move Keyshawn George, he's up to an 84. Okay, so I guess Will Riley would benefit more out of this. So I'm going to go ahead and move him to the 3. So he'll be that backup 3, maybe even start. No, DeBonzo would start over him. Just kidding. Keyshawn will backup AD still. And then we do need a backup center and maybe backup shooting guard if we don't trust. Obviously, Koulibaly, though, plays in that conversation. So we'll go ahead and re-sign Bilal here. So we'll give him, I'm comfortable giving him $50 million a year. I think we can get out of that if needed. So I'll give him a 3-year deal. And then we do need a backup center, as I said. It could just be Vucevic, but let's see if we can get something better than that. Like Filipowski, you know, could be interesting. We'd go for him. But should we just bring back Vucevic? I mean, no, give me Filipowski. So we'll get Filipowski if he decides to choose us, and he does. So we'll get Whitmore, or we'll get, Koulibaly, and then, yeah, we'll announce the rest of these guys. So that is going to be how we go with it. So Filipowski and Bilal is going to be our 2 signings. And then, of course, the biggest thing is hoping for some more development. So we'll move Bilal to shooting guard as well. So we'll move him down there. And yeah, the hope is that obviously these guys are going to push up a little bit. So as you can see, Alex Sar up to an 88. DeBonds is up to an 85. Trey Johnson, 84. 84, Will Riley, because we moved him. George is up 1. Carrington is up 2. And Filipowski's up 2. So very good stuff. And that could leave Bilal as the 10th guy off the bench as well. Maybe the 11th guy. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get into year 2. We made the playoffs in year 1. AD, we need to talk about what he wants, because if he is just going to leave, then yes, we should trade him at the deadline. He accepted his $60 million player option. Don't really know what kind of contract he's seeking after that. If it's still like 50 to 60 million, I don't know if I could get there. And I think the Wizards wouldn't want to either, I assume, even though I think Trae Young got more than I expected, of course, even though it's not really going to affect them that badly. But I do want to see what AD is asking for, and we could kind of decide. Do we trade him, you know, on the expiring deal, or do we just let him walk, or do we resign him? There might be a conversation to be had right now. So let's take a look to see what he's thinking. It says he will resign. Don't know what he's asking for. He is asking for $45 million a year. Ooh, okay. You know what? I think I'll take this decision to the trade deadline. If he changes his mind and doesn't want to resign, that's fine. We can let him walk or trade him. So I don't know if I could commit 45 right now to Anthony Davis at 34 years old. I think that seems kind of risky, so I'm not going to do it out the gate here. We'll give him a chance to know if this team is really good and we are showing strides, then maybe we go ahead and pull the trigger on it. But If we feel as if it's not worth it, then we'll just trade him or let him walk. So let's once again just simulate this season. And I expect this team to be a little bit better than last year because the continuity is still here and development was still here. And we brought in, Dame Sar, who's not playing. But yeah, I just feel like with player development, we should be pretty similar, if not a little bit better than last year. And we'll decide on what to do with Anthony Davis at the deadline. So we find ourselves at 32-18 at the trade deadline. And if AD has played a lot of games this year, which he has played, he's played 48 games, I think we keep him, guys. I really do. I think we decide to keep AD because I don't want to commit like 5 years to him or anything, but this team is playing really well. So he is still willing to resign. I think I'll give him a 2-year deal, $44 million a year. It's a little pricey, and maybe we make the next year non-guaranteed or something like that. So let's do that. And AD gets an extension. We'll at least have him for 1 more year, and we can make that non-year or last year non-guaranteed. We're going to make a decision on it then. But yeah, so we still have a lot of money committed to Trae Young and Anthony Davis. And then next year, I would like AJ DeBonza to become the guy, obviously. So in fact, we could probably change that right now if we wanted to, but the team's playing really well that I don't think we should change it. I want to just kind of see what this team can do. But next year, I think we reduce Trae Young, AD shot tendencies and let, DeBonza have a head which he already has one, but reducing Trae Young and AD will obviously, prolong DeBonza to be that #1 guy for us, which I want that to eventually be the case. So yeah, but right now the team is excelling on all cylinders. I mean, we may even be able to win a championship this year, which would be crazy, but it is a possibility. I don't think there's anybody else to extend right now. No. So yeah, let's just get to the end of the season. Hopefully we stay healthy and we finish up as a top 3 seed in the East. That'd be awesome. So Wembanyama is going to win MVP. Christian Anderson is your Rookie of the Year, and Jalen Green is your 6th man. Wemby is your DPOY, and Caleb Wilson wins Most Improved, and Tatum is your Clutch Player, and Mitch Johnson is your Coach of the Year. Executive goes to Anthony Adams. So here is your All-NBA first team. No Wizards or anything, and again, it's one of those things where I don't really expect it because the scoring is pretty spread out through our team right now, but all defensive is definitely in the possibilities, and we do get AD to make it all defensive team again. So pretty happy with that. Here's our rookie team. I don't think Dame Sar played enough for us. He might get involved next year, but we end up as the 3rd seed in the East, so we do get to play the Knicks in round 1. Here were your player stats. So you had 22-8 from Trae Young, and then 17-9 from Anthony Davis, 16 from DeBonza, and 16 from Trae Johnson. So one of those things, again, where I want to continue with what, the roles are right now. But next year, DeBonza is going to have a way bigger role than what he does right now. But let's just see how we can do as constructed at the moment. So we will play against the New York Knicks in round 1. We obviously lost and got swept last year, so it would be nice if we're able to win a playoff series already here, but let's see. Game 1 goes to the Knicks on the road for them, but we do win Game 2, so we got to return the favor and win an MSG, and we don't do it in Game 3, and we do it in Game 4. So this is a back-and-forth series, tied up. Should be a fun one at home, this time in DC. Let's see if we can beat the Knicks in Game 5 to take a 3-2 lead. We do have a lead at the moment. They're not too far behind, but ultimately we do hang on here, 110 and 120. Do we beat them in 6 or just go to 7? We're going to the second round. We beat them in 6, and now we get to play the Milwaukee Bucks. So we've already won a playoff series in AD, DeBonza's young career and Trae Johnson's young career. So this is all awesome. A lot of these guys still on their rookie contracts. We got it done, and now we get to play the Milwaukee Bucks. So the Milwaukee Bucks on the road in Game 1. I don't even know why I clicked Simcast start things off. We also need to look at what they have because, yeah, they're looking pretty good over there. But let's see if we can win Game 1. Ultimately, we didn't. So they have Carter, Ivy, Watson, Jaime Jaquez, and Jalen Duren leading the way. So they signed Watson and Jalen Duren, both the restricted free agents left, of course. But Game 3 goes to us. Game 2, I should say. And Game 3 does go to us as well. So it was just foreshadowing. Tied up. Do we beat, okay, 3-2. Do we beat them in 6? Yes, we do. So just like that, fellas, we have already made it to the conference finals. Got Dallas and Phoenix on the other side. But of course, we get the juggernaut that is the Orlando Magic in 2K26. They have just become such a tough team to beat. But let's go ahead and see if we can get them in Game 1. The fact that we're already in the conference finals is amazing, obviously. But let's see what happens here. And it does look like they're going to win Game 1. We almost came back there, but not quite. We do win Game 2, though, so that's a good one to get on the road. We got to win at home as well. Game 3 goes to us. Game 4 goes to Orlando. Okay, we are in it, man. There is a chance, a really realistic shot for us to be in the finals already. So let's take this super serious. Let's not, let's not just, be all nonchalant. Let's bring it all. So we got the aim and rotation out, but Orlando does look as if they have covered Game 6 pretty easily, or Game 5. So we're gonna have to win Game 6. Game 6 at home in DC, and I would love nothing more than force a Game 7. It would be awesome if we have that opportunity to play in Game 7 to reach to the NBA Finals. We had to lead most of this game, and we are going to force a Game 7. So that is fantastic. Health, we're still there as well. That's even better. Orlando, I don't know if they had a center that they lost, but they looked, I mean, Carter, I think, got hurt for them. But okay, Game 7 is going to be a big one. This is to get to the NBA Finals already in this video. Oh, I'm scared. Let's go. So Game 7 on the road in Orlando. This is a great opportunity for us. They've had the lead most of this game, and we need to try to backdoor them if we can. We take the lead in the fourth quarter. It is back and forth here, but it does look as if they have maybe taken care of business as they, spread. Yeah, they kind of run away with the lead, unfortunately. So it is a 3-point game with 7 seconds left, but I presume that they're going to have possession. We do have a chance to tie it up, but I presume, like I said, they're going to have possession when we jump in. And, oh, wait a minute. We actually have possession. I need to turn off the volume, though, real quick. So let me, yeah, so let's turn all this off and all that. But commentary, I need to turn that off. But anyway, I think we have possession. Did I see that correctly, or am I stupid? Yes, we have possession. Okay, I'm not going to play this because I know I would screw this up if I did. So let's watch and see if we can tie it up here. Let's see if we got it. So Trae Young is going to go in the corner. He's got a chance. Oh, good. You know what? It was a good shot. It had a chance. It had a chance. But unfortunately, we are going to lose 106 to 111. Trae Young, if he hits that, we may have forced OT. They would have had a chance to respond, obviously, but damn, dude. I mean, I guess I could have jumped in and maybe did a better job, but I think the AI got a good look. So Orlando goes on with a championship again, so really can't be mad at it. This is the offseason of expansion. We do have Middleton retiring this time, so I will let him go. But yeah, that sucks, man. Had a real shot at getting to the finals. That would have been awesome. But yeah, let me add expansion now. Think we have anybody's lottery pick or anything like that this offseason, so that's not something we have to worry about. Do we even have our own pick? I'm sure we do, right? So we have the 26th overall pick in this draft, and then we have Brian Keefe, who I think at this point, this man has earned himself an extension. So let's go ahead and extend him. And let's go to draft, or I guess the protection part of this. And we have to make a decision. And honestly, what they're suggesting, I think, is what I'll lock in. So unfortunately, we might lose our second round pick from last year. But okay, so that could be an issue, or that would suck for us, but that's okay. And we have 11 and 27. So once again, I'm going to do pretty similar to what I did last year. I'm going to trade this, if I can, for a future second rounder. I don't want to draft a late second rounder. Okay, so at pick 26, we have Darius, who I think I might just take, or Dash Daniels. Which one I want? I'll take Darius. He could play, a little bit of a role here, maybe. It does depend on, obviously, how much we get, out of Dame Sarr, who could play a role this year for us. But yeah, 75 and 69, not bad. We'll accept all of these. And then qualifying offers, Filipowski, Keyshawn, Sarr, and Carrington. So it is a very important restricted free agency for us. But I do have interest in bringing all of them back because I want to continue with what the team has built right now. And then AD, of course, this year's is guaranteed. The next year is not. So we might have to decline next year. But ultimately, I do want to bring back... Oh, wait, I thought Bub Carriage was asking for 37 million. I'm like, I don't know if we can get there. But Alex Sarr, absolutely. Bub, on the other hand, yeah, I'll give it to him. I'll probably give him 2 years, though, because I don't want to be that locked in. But yeah, ultimately, I do want to keep what we have. And then Filipowski does want to come back as well. I would be all about that. But let's see if he's still available. He is still here. It says we can't get him. Now we can match it. Okay, so I'm going to match it. And now we can go to progression. So if we go to progression... We're going to probably have some regression. I'm like, no, everyone stays the same other than you have Cool Ball and Carrington going up. Trey Johnson and Alex Sarr are up as well. Then you have Filipowski and Dame Sarr going up. So that's all fantastic to see. But okay, as I said, as promised, I think this year I do want DeBonza to average 20 plus this year. I really do. So I'm going to make sure that Trae Young and AD have reduced roles, especially AD. I would prefer if AD became a role player this year. Now, would he want to do that in real life in Washington? I couldn't tell you. I think that's, could be far-fetched to ask of him. And I really don't know how long he is going to be in DC, to be honest. But as previous Wizards videos, I've always gotten rid of him pretty fast. Today, we've kind of kept him. That's kind of like a new change of pace for us. So let's go back to our 10 rotation, 50 bench utilization. And we're going to keep what Brian Keith's philosophies are. Only other thing we're going to do is AD shot tendency. We're going to bring it down like crazy. So I want him to kind of just be somebody that focuses on defensive end. And we'll see how that goes. So I'm going to give him that. And then Trae Young, we're going to reduce maybe a little bit as well and bring it down to like a 75-ish or something like that. And then Trey Johnson, 93 shot tendency. I'll bring that down a little bit. and we'll, give AJ DeBonza a 93 touch tendency. So something like that. So I want DeBonza, Trey Johnson, and then Alex Sarr will leave that the way it is as well. So ultimately, the goal, as I said, is that DeBonza hopefully averages 20 plus this year. Did he even move too much? He's still only an 85, so he's not even our best player. That's unfortunate, because I bet you Peterson's right up to like an 88 or something. So let's see if that's the case. We go to the Jazz. Peterson is already at, oh no, he's only 86 as well. Okay, so not too bad. All right, let's simulate this season though. We've, had two solid seasons, especially last year. Last year was really good. And we will see if this year is any better than last. Even though last year is going to be really hard to top, it would mean we'd have to make it to the finals, obviously. But I'm still expecting good things here. And hopefully we make the playoffs as a top 3 seed. That's, the bare minimum I'd like to see. And then we'll see how good we can be in the actual playoff bracket and fight for our lives to get to the finals again. 1 game away last year. So, fellas, I was just distracted on my phone, and I thought I was just skipping the Cup MVP portion, but no, I accidentally skipped the awards in general, so I apologize for that. But here is your All-NBA first team, here is your All-NBA second team, and here is your All-NBA third team. So we don't have any Wizards here, and I actually don't even know what our record was. I was completely looking away. But Anthony Davis, he's continuing to make all defensive teams for us, so got to be happy about that. But we finish up as the second seed in the East, and, I would assume we didn't have, like, any MVPs or anything like that, but yeah, so DeBonza didn't quite average the 20 plus I would have loved to have seen, but he did lead the way with 19.7. Trey Johnson with 19 as well, and Trey Young and AD did indeed take a back step like I wanted them to. So yeah, ultimately pretty good stuff, and I think the rotation also looks really good here as well. So speaking of the rotation, let's go ahead and shrink this down to a 9-man rotation. You got Trey Young, Trey Johnson, DeBonza, Anthony Davis, Sarr, Will Riley, Koulibaly, Bub Carrington, and Keyshawn George going into the playoffs. So that leaves Filipowski out, but he can play if needed if someone gets hurt. So our depth's pretty good right now. We get to play the Detroit Pistons, which I know I'm in the way. They got Cade, they got RJ, they got Asar, Ron Holland, Kleckson, Podziemski, Jarris Walker, and Rui Hachimura. So game 1 goes to us. Good start. No problem there. Game 2 goes to us. Pretty easy. 142, 105 in that one as well. Game 3 goes to Detroit. Game 4 goes to us, though. So it was a big win on the road. To avoid, having to, okay, what about, all right, let's avoid game 7. Let's do that if we can. So let's go on the road in Detroit. I would hate to be eliminated by the 7-seeded Pistons after we're the 2nd seed. I really want to get us to the finals this year if we can, and it looks as if we will get past Detroit, so that was kind of scary there for a second. We do beat them, and we do see that Orlando is still in this bracket as well, and of course, that is the team that beat us last year. And Milwaukee, that I think they may have pushed us to 6, if I remember correctly, so they could be a problem as well. But the Toronto Raptors have Kawhi Leonard still, IQ, LeJay Jones, CMB at the center, Clowney, Allen Graves, Jakob Poeltl, and Ryan Repair. So let's get after the Raptors. Game 1 goes to us, beat them by 4. Game 2 goes to us, 133 to 103. Good start. Game 3 goes to us, and it does look as if the Raptors will be no issue. And now we get to play the Magic, who, of course, beat us in 7 unless the Bucks come back. But no, it is the Magic, who is the team that stumped us last year. So now we get to play them again. And they, I think, have won a championship 2 years in a row. So ultimately, this is the team to beat here. If we're able to beat them, there's a really good chance that we may be walking out of here with a Larry O'Brien. But of course, the biggest thing here is to win against the Magic. That would start with winning game 1 on the road. And hey, we do that. 117 to 96. Great start. And we'll keep the rotation nice and fresh. But now for game 2 on the road in Orlando. If we can take both games on the road, we are looking fantastic. But don't know if we'll get that lucky. Although we do take the lead in the 3rd. It is a close one here. We separate ourselves, and I think we done it. So we took both games on the road in Orlando. So that is awesome. Now we go to DC, and all we got to do is win one more to take a 3-0 lead or a 3-1 lead. And do we do that? Either one? Yes. Okay, 3-1. So we take the 3-1 lead. All I got to do is win one more time with the 8-man rotation intact. And hey, we have made it to the NBA Finals. We beat the Magic this time. Now we get to play Minnesota or Dallas. So Minnesota, I presume, would still have LaMelo and Edwards. No, they have only Edwards. LaMelo is either hurt or he is gone off this team. And LaMelo is indeed hurt. So that's a big break for us if they're able to beat them. Is he out for the season? It looks like he might be. He is out for 1 to 2 weeks. That's still quite a long time. So hopefully Timberwolves win game. Nope. Let's see. Nope. It might be Dallas instead. No, it's Timberwolves. Okay. So obviously that may have given LaMelo Ball more time to rest, but AD still winning Conference Finals MVP. So ultimately I think he was worth the re-sign. And now we can play the Timberwolves, who have Trey Mann, Edwards, Jay McDaniels, Rasheed Fleming. So LaMelo is indeed still out, but of course he's probably getting close to coming back. Let's see where he's at. So LaMelo Ball, is 1 to 2 weeks out still, apparently. So we should hopefully be able to win like game 1 or so, because with him being out, we need to take advantage of this, because LaMelo has been really good in the sim since he's been traded to Minnesota. I remember the video with the Warriors, LaMelo Ball, but no LaMelo, no problem for the Timberwolves. They beat us in game 1, so that's not a good start. We got to try to win game 2 on the road, and I don't know if LaMelo's back yet, but ultimately, if we take down or we lose both games, that is not a good sign, because I don't even know if LaMelo played game 2. We lost both games on the road. That's not good. And LaMelo Ball did come back for game 2. So he is back. So ultimately, that doesn't matter anymore. We are down 0-2. We have to go home now. Let's see if we can even it up after not a good start. So we come out swinging, but the Timberwolves are not too far behind, and they ultimately own us here. 105-91. They have our number right now. So we are down 3-0. I think it's safe to say we probably lost this, but we'll give it, the Simcast try, and we'll try to win game 4 to keep this series alive. And we had the lead in game 3. We let it go, and it looks like it's pretty similar here. We might even get swept, which, wow, that really stings. So I thought we had a really good chance at winning a championship here, right here and now, but no, we didn't even get close. We beat the Timberwolves, or they beat us in 4. They absolutely bullied us. That is not good. Rudy Gobert does retire, so that should make them a little bit worse. That'll help. We got past the East pretty easily, so maybe, we can get past the East pretty easily again next year. We'll have to see. But yeah, ultimately, that sucked. And we actually get the 3rd overall pick via Boston. What trade is that from? I actually have no idea. I think it has something to do with the Denny Avdia trade, because, I think this is from the Blazers, isn't it? Yeah, I think they get the second best of, like, Milwaukee, Boston. I think the Wizards get the second best, if I'm not mistaken, of Milwaukee and Boston. So, if I remember correctly, if I'm remembering this right, because I remember the Denny trade. This is from the Denny trade. So it was the second best of Blazers, Milwaukee, and Boston. So if we look at this, Blazers we see at 23, and then we see Milwaukee at 28. So I'm pretty sure the Blazers are actually supposed to have pick 3. Ultimately, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure they only got the second best of that. So as a Blazers fan, I think I should know that. And I'm pretty damn sure that's what it is. So I am going to go send this pick to the Blazers, because I'm pretty sure this belongs to them. And we get the second best of those 3 teams. So we have 23 and 29. We have 25 in the second as well. So, AD is on that non-guaranteed deal, but we've been so close that I think I'm going to accept it. I really do. I think with the young team around him, he might regress a little bit, but ultimately, I think losing him now probably wouldn't be worth it. I think we've been close, and we're going to try to win a championship with him. So 2 late picks as 2 guys to maybe build the future with some of these guys, because I think after this, we won't keep AD. So I'm going to start with taking Kita here, since we might need some big depth with AD gone eventually. And then I'm going to take Luke Ertel as well. So those are going to be my 2 picks. Don't know how much of a role they'll play in this video, but 72 and 70 and a 65 will just 2-way him. Okay. Trae Young declined, so that's going to be an interesting one to try to bring back as well. And yes, we'll accept AD's player opt or team option. Trey Johnson, Will Riley. Damn, this team's about to get expensive. I don't know if we could keep. We don't know if we should have kept AD. But yeah, Trey Johnson, I think he's worth it. So I'm going to bring him back. Will Riley, I'm going to bring back. And then Trae Young, I'm going to give him a 1-year deal. I'm going to give him a 1-year extension, because I want him and AD. This will be their last time here. And hopefully we can end it off in a championship with those 2. But we'll see. But both of them could be gone after this, I think. And we can kind of move towards the next era if those 2 don't get us a championship this year. So this will be the last ride with Trae Young and AD on the team, I think. So AJ Bond's up to an 89. So I do think ultimately he's probably ready to take that role I want him to take. And Darius has, turned in the same role, or same overall as Dame Sarr. Okay. So 2 years in a row, we were really close. Got 1 game away from the finals last year, and then made it to the finals. Got absolutely smoked by the Timberwolves. So I think, ultimately is realistic to expect that we could be in the finals again. We got to get out of the East. We got out of it pretty easily last year. And then hopefully it's not the Timberwolves, so we have to play. Hopefully it's not them. Mavericks almost came back on them. Even Dallas is scary, though, to be fair. So they would be hard to take down. But we are just going to hope and pray that we don't have to play the Timberwolves. If we are to make it to the finals, that is. That's still something we have to do. But okay. Let's go ahead, simulate this season, fully expecting a playoff season again. Top 3 seed, get to the finals, hopefully objective season, and then we'll see who our Western Conference opponent is. But again, we can't overlook the East, even though I just kind of did. Okay, so this time we'll look at the awards as Wemby wins MVP, Garma is your Rookie of the Year, Giddey is your sixth man, Wemby is your depoy, and Anderson is your most improved, Jalen Sellers is your clutch player, and Chris Finch is your coach of the year. So the Wolves were still really good. So, like I said, hopefully you can avoid them, but we'll see. We got to do the finals first to even deal with them. But here is your All-NBA first team. I don't think we've had any Wizards on an All-NBA team. We've, of course, got an all-defensive team. And AD continues to make it. So I think he's been exactly what we could have wanted here in DC. We actually end up as the first seed this time. That's the first time for us this in this video. But 21 for DeBonza. So we finally got that 20+ point per game season out of DeBonza. So he is turning into that #1 overall pick, which is awesome. But okay, obviously we all know what time it is. Timberwolves are on the other side. Let's see. They have Behringer as their center now, but LaMelo is gone. They have Giddey instead. So they didn't miss a beat though. They're still really good. But let's not worry about them right now. So let's play the New York Knicks. Timberwolves are hunting my dreams at the moment. But Garland is gone and Jalen Brunson's gone and Garland's in. So we'll see. I assume we beat them. But game 2 goes to us. Game 3 goes to us. And we beat them in 4. Easy stuff. Then we have to play the Atlanta Hawks, who we have not played just yet. Minnesota gets past Phoenix very fast. LaMelo is in Atlanta now. You know what? This wouldn't shock me in the slightest if the Hawks beat us because of LaMelo Ball. But so far, so good. So it looks as if, no. Okay, no problem. So we get to play and beat them in 5, hopefully? Yes. Okay. So conference finals have been reached. Conference finals have been reached, and we get to play the Bucks and Minnesota and San Antonio. 2 teams that would be really hard to play, as Naz Reid is on the other side playing his former team, and Joksimovic is on the Spurs as well. Okay. Well, here goes nothing. So we are healthy, which is good. So now we just got to play the Bucks and beat them, and let's see what they look like to this point. They got Braden Burries, Yakachonis, Kareem Lopez, Jalen Duren, Jaime Jaquez, Ade Mara, Devin Carter, and Johnny Furphy. I mean, I feel like we're much better than the Bucks, but they do even it up. Game 3 goes to us. Game 4 goes to us, and we will beat them in 5. And hey, we did in fact avoid the Timberwolves, but it's not like playing the Spurs would be any less scary, to be honest. So AD and Wembanyama were conference finals VPs, and thankfully we have the size to deal with Wemby with AD and Alex Sarr. Like, we can try our best to slow him down. Of course, there's no guarantee that's going to happen, but we got swept in the finals last year. So finals appearance again, 2nd year in a row for that, but we lost in 4. So hopefully we can avoid losing game 1, and we do lose game 1. So that's not going to be avoided. We're already going to pull out the amortization because I'm already nervous. So let's go ahead and simcast Game 2. This is our last chance with Trae Young and AD. So if we can't do it here with them, then we're going to have to try without them. And I don't know how well it's going to go. That's going to be quite a bit of overalls to lose. But thankfully, we win Game 2. That was a big win to get. If we would have went down 2-0, that would have been unfortunate. But especially since both games were at home to start things off. So now we got to return the favor and win on the road at least once here. And I would like to get out of the way here right now. We are right there, but no, we do not quite win this one. Okay. Well, here we go. Aim and rotation. Game 4 to tie the series up. AD is hurt, which that's been long overdue. He stayed healthy for most of the video so far, so it does not kind of surprise me that he does finally pick up an injury. And yeah, so ultimately, once again, the Western Conference is just getting to us. We cannot seem to beat the West right now. But we're back at home for Game 5, so who knows? Maybe we force a win here, and Game 6 is going to happen. And then we win Game 6, and we're right back in the mix. Okay. Got to win Game 6 now. AD is back to fully healthy, which is good. If we can win Game 6, force Game 7, this becomes interesting again. We got to win Game 6 here. We have a lead, but they're not too far behind. Hopefully, we can hang on here this entire time. It is a close one, but we do separate. And hey, guys, we have forced a Game 7 after being down 3-1. So we have a chance. Okay. At home as well in DC, Game 7 to win a championship after being down 3-1. We have a lead at the moment. Do not let them back in the game, and we should have a fighting. Oh my gosh, guys, we did it. So we are going to win a championship with the Wizards. Let's freaking go, man. Okay, so I really thought we were going to have to run it back again without Trae Young and AD, but ultimately we were able to get it done with those two, and I'm very happy to have done that. And like I said, usually when I've done Wizards videos, I've traded AD pretty fast because it ultimately felt like that was always going to happen, and who knows? That probably could be exactly what happens in real life, but we rolled with them in this video and it paid off. So let's hit it through with Trae Young, even though we didn't need to do that. 115, 139, just to show you guys that I can hit shots in 2K sometimes. But I think that's where I end it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the championship celebration. Of course, we are in our last month of 2K26, and then we're on to 2K27 Not that the game will change that much, but hey, my NBA apparently is going to add the second apron, which will be awesome. And if they have the lottery rules, new rules as well, then I'd be happy with that. That's the bare minimum that I want, and that would just kind of make the game a little bit more realistic, basically. So, of course, there's other things that need to be added, but if we can just get those two things, I'd be a happy camper. But thank y'all for watching. I'll see you on the next one. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace.